From experience, what's the most gentle way you can break up with someone?
If you are watching this, leave your favorite fruit emoji in the comments.
There is no gentle way. The best way is doing it as soon as possible. If you do not live with them, meet them in a public place and tell them there. Keep it simple. If they ask why, keep it simple. Say that you have just grown apart, or have different goals, or other non-personal thing is fine. If they are the right kind of person, you might want to be more specific. It is going to hurt. They are probably going to be angry. But if it is time to break up, it is. Staying won't help anyone.
Say that you have just grown apart, or have different goals, or other non-personal thing is fine. Don't do this. If it's the truth, then, yes, by all means. But don't lie or be vague just to keep it simple. Assuming both parties are adults, then you owe it to them to treat them with the respect they deserve and not like a child who is finding out that Santa Claus isn't real.
I would agree in some circumstances, but it depends on how her ex takes things, and if she can do this without endangering herself. That's why I suggested a public place, because it is safer.
I would not suggest doing it in public unless the partner you are leaving is abusive. It's cruel otherwise to emotionally hurt someone in public.
Yeah, the whole breaking up in public and being intentionally vague seems like bad advice for the standard breakup.
This person could start bawling their eyes out. You might not be able to prevent that, but unexpectedly putting them in that situation when they're out in public, and likely to be seen by random people they know, is just cruel. If the person who is breaking up with them feels like they may physically retaliate, then doing it in public is the only way to do it in person and be safe.
Just sit them down, respect their intelligence, and just be honest with them. That's the best way to avoid drama and game playing and leaving them wondering forever. Just talk to them, honestly, so they know why it's over. Painful, but still the most pain-free breakup I ever had was when the guy told me that he genuinely liked and respected me too much to lead me on and that he just didn't have the level of feelings for me that I needed and deserved, and gave me a big hug. It could have been bullshit wrapped in kindness, but I didn't get that vibe. He was straight up respectful, and I literally responded by thanking him for respecting my heart. I was sad to lose what I still think was a really great guy, but I wasn't his one, and he didn't leave me feeling inadequate, nor did he pretend everything was fine when it wasn't right for him. That was 20 years ago, and I still remember him with a smile and a nod of respect. I wish it had been like that when various girlfriends broke up with me. Just be honest and tell me this relationship isn't for you.
Communication is key.
3 important rules for breaking up. Don't put off breaking up when you know you want to. Prolonging the situation only makes it worse. Tell him honestly, simply, kindly, but firmly. Don't make a big production. Don't make up an elaborate story. This will help you avoid a big tear-jerking scene. If you want to date, other people say so. Be prepared for the boy to feel hurt and rejected. Even if you have gone together for only a short time and haven't been too serious, there is still a feeling of rejection when someone says, "She prefers the company of others to your exclusive company." But if you are honest and direct, and avoid making a flowery emotional speech when you break the news, the boy will respect you for your frankness. And honestly, he'll appreciate the kind of straightforward manner in which you told him your decision. Unless he's a real jerk or a crybaby, you will remain friends.
This only works on mentally healthy people, or at least those who are capable of thinking rationally when they're upset.
Explain how you've been feeling and why you're leaving. The breakup will hurt, but they won't end up angry cause they don't understand what happened and why.
Hey there, could you please make sure you are subscribed? Thank you.
Start a thread on Reddit. Wait for them to recognize all the answers.
I was hoping you'd do it all by proxy for me.
Nothing gentle about it. Just be honest and right to the point. Don't beat around the bush and prolong the inevitable.
Go for a long walk in a private place. Preferably somewhere that has benches if you or your soon-to-be ex needs to sit down. A park you don't love but is still nice, maybe. It's okay to show your pain, because breakups are painful. Say something along the lines of, "It took me a long time to get to this point, but I realize now that you aren't the person I've been looking for. I still love you and will always care for you, but I need to find the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with." Don't list out specifics. Offer to stay in contact, but make it clear that you are no longer dating.
This is the perfect thing to say. Thank you for writing this. I'm going to use this.
Not bad at all. For a more casual relationship anyway.
There isn't unless you both want the relationship to end and agree that you shouldn't be together. If one person wants the relationship to end and the other doesn't, there's going to be hurt feelings no matter what you do.
Just be honest with them. Don't be a dick about it, but be honest. Lying is where the issues come in.
It's usually not gentle. Just rip off the band-aid and say it. Do it in person and pick a private location.
Just don't try ghost them like a pussy, or be really mean to them in the hopes that they will break up with you.
Never done it. Been married to my one and only gal for 29 years. If I had read this thread 30 or so years ago, I may have dumped her for a raving lunatic. Great timing. I'm kidding, but the cheating stuff. Either she's an amazing liar or she's been loyal for this long. I always wonder if she slipped up on the way. But she's so grounded I feel the latter.
Tilde pretending you tolerate them and are even a little bit happy to them, and then ghosting them out of nowhere. Thrice. Tilde.
By a nicely worded text. It's not you, it's me.
Do it from a moving vehicle.
Is this a precaution in case they want to do anything rash?
I think you should smash the like button.
Are you concerned about how they are going to react?
The other person normally would feel something off if you're thinking of breaking up. Just sit down and tell them the truth. It may or may not hurt this person, but they will appreciate the honesty.
There is no gentle way, however. If you'd like them gone immediately with no return or dragging it out. Tell them there is someone else. Even if there isn't, be vague, tell them it's not them. You're terrible. You feel so terrible, you didn't know what to do. It just happened. Cry a little too. Use this move on some serious clingers that wouldn't take a regular breakup.
I just start talking about my interest in politics and Jesus for a while. It softens the blow. Don't tell them in a train station in Japan. I made that mistake.
Did the implication I'm getting from that statement actually happen?
Yes. I had been traveling in Korea for a work conference where I made up my mind to end the marriage. He joined me in Japan for some vacation time. I planned to wait until we were home, but he could see something was off and I couldn't hide it. Luckily, he compartmentalizes well and we had a pretty good vacation and hashed out the relationship stuff when we got home. We stayed friends. We were always better friends than spouses. We're still friends 15 years later and both remarried.
I did something similar at a train station in Zurich. Disaster.
Be honest. It'll hurt no matter what, but stringing someone along will make it worse.
Hey, we need to talk.
One never replied as at the time we did everything together. Then one day for weeks she never replied, so I called police for welfare check. Yes, if you were tight with somebody then police will be called.
Honestly, just if you die.
Hello, I'd like to inform you, very gently, that I hate your guts.
Leave them better than you found them and pull the plug.
You have to tell them you don't want to see them anymore, and that's it. Keep the explanation minimal. A simple, "This isn't working for me, I've thought a lot about it, and it's time for me to move on." One thing that you should do, if you can, is to not drag out the end. If you are unhappy and know you are going to break up with a person, you should do it quickly. Don't hang around in a relationship that you consider to already be over.
Sit down and have a serious conversation with them about why you want to break up. Before this conversation, you need to decide if you're willing to work on things, or if you're out. Whatever you decide, you need to communicate that clearly, openly and honestly, but not meanly. There will be pain, there will be tears. But it can be an opportunity for growth. Just communicate what is wrong, and why you are debating breaking up, and what if anything would be needed to fix it. One of my best breakups was because I was not making time for my soul. I was working overtime, and a part-time job, and I cared about making money more than her. She communicated all this to me. She told me it made her feel unwanted, like she wasn't a priority. That it was making her unhappy. That she was willing to keep trying, if I was willing to make a change. But that right now she felt single because she never got to see me. I was honest with her and said I was not willing to make that change. I had student loan debt I was paying down, and was saving aggressively for a house. I told her that I cared about her, but my priorities in life were getting out of debt, and setting up a stable foundation for the rest of my life. We agreed our lifestyle goals just were not compatible, and had a mutual and respectful breakup. It was sad. We cried on each other's shoulders. But it was probably the best breakup I ever went through, in that it was two emotionally mature adults talking about issues and coming to the realization that they were not compatible.